This one may hurt a bit, but it's time you knew the truth, so you can stop wasting your time and focus your energy elsewhere. You may be wondering, why should I listen to you? And that's a great question. One I don't have the answer for, but I hope by the end of this video, you will know for yourself. You may have heard the quote that experience is the best teacher. Like most sayings, it holds some weight. If you only read about snow, but never experienced it, it is an idea. But if you've built a snowman with your own hands, it's much easier to understand what snow is. I grew up believing in fairy tale love, and imagine having a romance that would make even Disney grab some tissues. For most of my teenage years and all of my 20s, I placed marriage above everything else. When I went to high school, I just knew I would meet my high school sweetheart. When that didn't happen, I set my hopes on meeting Mr. Right in college, but that also didn't happen. When I dropped out, I thought I would meet him at a job, and for a moment, I thought I did. But before we could get before the preacher, I realized he wasn't the one for me. I will not bore you with my anecdotes. But trust me when I say, I've kissed a lot of frogs looking for my friends. The fog finally cleared when I became a single mother of 3. I finally understood that the love I had been searching for was within me the entire time. God took the scales from my eyes, and I could finally see me as I was clearly. Flawed, naive, and a bit delusional. But resistant, powerful, and optimistic. It is from this space that I have been able to examine some of the red flags I overlooked in the past. And I hope by the end of this video, you will be able to see them more clearly and avoid some of the heartache I've endured learning them the hard way. Here are 5 signs that he may not be interested in you. He causes confusion. This is the biggest tell. If you are unsure or confused about where you stand in his life, your status, or if he gives you mixed signals, he isn't sure about you. A man who is sure about you will make it be known, even if he's not the greatest at communicating. There is nothing confusing about love. So if his actions do not align with his words, he's using you as a placeholder. He only talks to you at night. If the only time you ever hear from him is after hours, then he doesn't really like you, and is probably just talking to you because he's bored or only wants one thing from you, and it's not your mind. This even applies if he works overnight. A man who truly wants you will try to speak to you at various times of the day, not just when it's convenient for him. He never initiates dates or flakes when it's time to meet up. Men are visual and naturally pursue. So if he isn't initiating dates, and I mean dates, not going to each other's house, but actually going out in public on his dime, then he doesn't see you as an investment. A man who knows your value and sees your value will have no problem taking you out on a date, even if it has to be on a budget. He never asks questions about you or remember things you tell him. When a man likes you, he wants to get to know you, and he will ask you questions deeper than the generic. What you doing? What you doing? Where you at? Where you at? If you find yourself always having to initiate the conversation or keep the conversation going, then he may not be interested, sis. He doesn't make adjustments for you. If you have shared that communication is important to you, and he hasn't made an effort to improve, he may not be interested in you. A man who truly values you will make adjustments to meet your needs if they are within reason. These are some of the red flags I've noticed in my past encounters with men that never led anywhere significant. Instead of knowing my worth, I would stay in the hopes that by being accommodating, they would see my value. But if anything, it only showed them what little I would accept. If you start to question your value due to someone's inability to see you, it is time to walk away. You do not have to touch snow to understand what it means to be cold. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe so you do not miss my video next week detailing why men string women along. You all in the meantime, in between time, let's continue to prosper properly as his property. Prospering property.